Okay, so if I can find a coin to hold out my push to talk, I will get to making this video. There we go. Okay, so I had an idea to make this video because I was asked by one of my viewers how to deal with a broken heart. And I was helping and as I was helping this person, I thought, why not go ahead and help all of you as well. Now, before I go any further, I need to emphasize that I repeat, I am not a relationship expert or any bullshit like that. I can only speak from personal experience, and I have had a lot of experience in this field. Now, I've experienced two major emotional traumas. First was over Carly back in like the early 2000s, and second was over Cassie. Cassie was my most recent, and it was the hardest hit. It was the hardest hit that I've ever taken emotionally. Mainly because with Carly's, I could at least see it coming somewhat, but with Cass, it was totally out of nowhere, and I had no defenses up really. I wasn't really ready for anything of this sort. In fact, I was ready for the exact opposite of what happened. Now, now, there's no. Before I try to help you guys, I need to let you know that there's no way to completely escape a broken heart. You can't. A hurt heart will never fully mend. You can only, and you can't really cheat it. You can't cheat a broken heart. You can only learn to live with it. And this may suck to hear, but like I said, there's no way of really ever getting rid of it. I mean, I still go through shit to this day. I have times where I feel like, I'm gonna fucking explode or something due to the amount of emotional stress that just sits there in my head sometimes because of the shit that I've gone through in the past. And trust me, that shit will eat away at you sometimes. There's no escaping it. But it doesn't happen all the time. In fact, it doesn't happen very often at all. Now, the biggest piece of advice that I can give to you guys is to keep your mind busy. The more you sit there in your thoughts, the more it's going to eat away at you. That was my biggest mistake, was trying to, sort it all out in my head. I would just lay there in my thoughts for hours and hours until I'd either like fall asleep or get sick, and yes, I mean physically ill. There are times where there were times where the emotional pain was so overwhelming that it became a physical pain. And that's no joke. A broken heart really feels like your heart is broken. Like usually I don't use corny terms like that, but that's the only way to really describe it. Like it's there. There's not like there, and it's like a cage that's inside of you, yet you're trapped in it. I don't really know how to explain it, but those who have gone through it can they know what I'm talking about. But all of that kind of bullshit is for the most part avoidable. And please note the key word there, mostly. Like I said, just stay busy. For instance, I went out and bought like $100 and $200 worth of Legos just out of compulse. I just felt like that's what I needed to do. And I just sat there on my floor putting them together like obsessively while watching movies on my computer and like Scrubs reruns. And you guys are in luck now with, Kata getting ready to drop. You'll be super busy. Now, this may sound very cliche and overused and corny, but you absolutely have to keep your distance. Even though the person may have hurt you very badly and you're not ready to let go, you have to, I repeat, you have to stay away from them. Don't embarrass yourself by showing how hurt you are, and if they had the nerve to leave you as you were, they're sure as hell not going to take you back as the wreck that you may be now. And you don't need the added stress of seeing them. You don't have to cut them off from your life, but I mean, just to, and this may suck to do, but you have to like delete their pictures, delete like texts of them, delete everything. Okay. If it's really meant to happen, they will get back to you, and all that will be replaced at some point. But for now, and I know like this took me the longest to do. You have to delete the pictures. You have to erase all evidence that they were ever in your life. And I know that sucks, but trust me, guys, trust me, it will help tremendously. You just have to just fucking sit there and just say goodbye and get rid of all that shit. Because you're not going to go anywhere as long as that shit's sitting there taunting you. And I also listen to a lot of music, and people like Eminem are perfect because those kinds of people just have that essence, and they're able to put it into words and just verbally, let it out. And you just for at least a little bit, you have that you have that release of strain on your emotions, like that strain is gone for at least just a little bit sometimes. And trust me, it helps a lot. Even if you don't feel like you're in the mood, just put some music on and zone out, and you have my word that it will work wonders. Like, even if you're just kind of sitting there like, I don't really want to, just do it. Okay, just do it. My last piece of advice is to look into the future. While this shit, while all this may suck now, and it can be hard to think outside of it, know that things can only get better, right? Because if you're at the lowest of low, you can only raise. You can only go up from there. You can only be building off of there. I mean, just listen. Take me as an example. Listen to how. Just think about how I was like at this time a year ago, and listen to me now. I mean, I'm happier than ever now. In fact, actually, I think I have those videos on private. Just for this video, I will take the videos that I used to have on private from back in the day. I'll take those off private now, just so you can see how I was and see like the improvement I made in a year. It's a lot. I put them on private a long time ago because I didn't want the people who they were about. Well, Cassie, I didn't want her to hear it, and I didn't want all the bullshit and stuff. And I was just a mess. Of course, I still do think about her, and I just don't have those feelings anymore. Well, that's a lie. I do, but not really as much, and not as often. It's sort of a thing that comes in waves from time to time, and then it passes. But I mean, shit happens. It was what it was, and it's over now. Life goes on. I'm over it. And here's another thing that'll really sound corny, but it's true. You've heard it all. What doesn't kill you have all. Okay, you have all heard it. What doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. I'm a lot more aware of bitches and hoes nowadays. It's fucked up. But I'm not nearly as vulnerable as I used to be. And if I had to, I'd go back and do it all again if I knew this was what was at the end of the tunnel. I'm a lot more aware of like relationships and all that. And if I have to get laid, I'll get laid. But I'm not gonna get in a relationship with people, and I'm not gonna do all that kind of shit. I mean, it's just I'm over it. It's not what I'm into. And I'm not saying to like stop having relationships completely. That's just what I did. It's just you need to get away, and don't jump back into a relationship, especially if it's somebody who has really. If you have that person that's kind of always been into you, but you never really felt for them, don't suddenly jump on them. That's a bad idea. That's a very bad idea. Please don't do that. You're just gonna make shit worse, and then you're gonna have another person, and then you're gonna make their life complicated, and it's just gonna be a big mess. Yeah, I guess that's really it. And I meant it when I said that I read and respond to absolutely everything. If you send me a message either here or on Facebook, it's always returned within a day. If you add me on Real ID, unless I'm AFK, you will always get a response from me. And those who have messaged me, say in the comments, yeah, this guy does respond. Like, I do talk to all of you. I'm not one of those assholes who's just way too good to talk to his own fans. No matter how big I hopefully get someday, I'll always try to find the time to get back to you guys. Which now isn't hard, because believe it or not, I'd be lying if I said I didn't get like much, but it's not like an unbearable amount. I get a lot of people talking to me throughout the day, but I'm always genuine to everybody, and I don't give like the same response to everybody. I'm not like a fucking automated message. Like, I'm genuine to everybody, especially on this subject, because I know how bad it sucks, and I've gone through it before. But anyway, I hope this video has helped. So all of the ways to contact me will be in the description of this video. Will be in the description of this video, as well as the videos that I've taken off private. Peace, nigga.